Hello everyone, it's Justine. Welcome back to Stationery by Justine. When I craft, the world stands still, hence the name Stationery. Anyway, today I get to make a beautiful card with the large die of the month from Spellbinders for February 2022, and this one is a beauty. It is a little intricate, but I would say it's not too intricate that it would be annoying to put together. I know that some people are not really die cut people, and they might look at a large die or just any kind of die and think, no, that's going to be too much work to put together. Well, this one is not. I'll just pop a picture on the screen of what it looks like from the website, and you can see that it has this large oval here, and then it has this reflection of flowers, so it ends up being very pretty, and it kind of packs a punch with not a whole lot of fuss. So to make this one, I just chose to stick with tones of pink, and I did add the embossing, the 3D embossing folder of the month right here. That's going to be part of my background as well. But to kind of set the stage, I'm going to work on these two side panels that are going to go on the sides of my oval. So I just am going to use some liquid glue and put those on my light pink piece. Then once they're on, I will just trim off any extra areas, and then we will get started on the oval. So I'm going to just line up these in the corner. And most of the background really won't show because of the oval, and that's fine. I just wanted a little texture in the background. But if you're feeling like you want something in these little areas, you could even die cut inlay, which means when you die cut this piece, there's going to be little scraps that come out, and you could even put certain scraps inside there that are little die cut pieces. So if that's something you would like to do, it's a way to get a little more fancy with this one, but I'm going to keep it simple and have a embossed background, which I just love embossing folders, and I've especially become pretty keen on the 3D embossing folders from Spellbinders just because of all the texture that it adds to cards. And I know some people are really big on dimension on cards, which is really fun, but I've been really into texture on cards. I don't know if that's just how my brain is or what, but I think it's kind of fun to add lots of texture. Anyway, I'm lining up the second piece, and I can see that I will have to trim off just a little bit, which is just fine. It's a shame to cover up the center. I guess I could take this die that I used to cut out that gold piece and cut it out, but I shall resist and just keep going for the sake of the video. Now, I have had a couple people ask me about this trimmer. It's this a 6 by, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. So a 6 by 8.5 little trimmer from We Are Memory Keepers. It's done very well for me. I have cut so many pieces of paper with it in the past. I do have a Tim Holtz mini guillotine trimmer as well, which is even smaller than that one, which I think I prefer just a little bit for the sake of small sentiments. And when my We Are Memory Keeper one dies or I'm not able to sharpen the blade anymore, I will go ahead and invest in the other trimmer from Tim Holtz and go from there. So I'm just going to kind of plan out. I think my oval is going to go kind of about there. I'm just going to stick it on right now, just with some liquid, just with some tape runner. Pretty simple. I just love the way the gold mirrored cardstock looks. I just think it's stunning. I hope that one day there's more colors of the mirrored cardstock from Spellbinders, because I think that their cardstock is definitely a bit of a premium kind of cardstock. At least that's what I've found. So I really hope that they do have more colors. Right now they have silver, gold, red, and green. And the red and green was so fun to use for Christmas. So who knows? Spellbinders people, if you're listening, go ahead and steal my idea, if you will. Anyway, I'm just going to build up my flowers. And I did just make a card with the small die of the month, and it has similar flowers. So that's kind of fun to see. I guess you could combine the two sets together and make different arrangements, or even use 4 of these little flower pieces and make a square card if that's more your style. But I'm going with these 2 pieces. So since I did not pay attention enough to realize that I die cut out pieces over here for 2 of this size of flower with 2 of these buds instead of 2 small flowers down here, I'm going to have to just pivot here for a minute and figure out what I'm going to do. I probably will make 2 of these, but maybe I will just end up die cutting some more flowers for down here. So just hang on. Now that I have my second reflection piece finally cut out, I am ready for the bottom. I know with video editing magic, it will seem like it was only a few seconds, but I guess in reality it didn't take that long just to cut another piece. But this is turning out to be a fussy card, but not because of the die, just because of my poor planning. So this is the 3rd Easter card that I have made. I made a couple with the stamp and coordinating die of the month from February here. And it was kind of fun to make something besides Christmas, because I feel like I've been making Christmas cards since July, when we had Christmas in July. So that was kind of fun to do something a little bit different. But, you know, don't get me wrong, I love Christmas cards, love Christmas time. So actually, can I tell you a secret, everybody? I don't like sending Christmas cards. I just find it to be quite stressful and obligatory. I don't know. I don't like sending Christmas cards. I will make them until the cows come home. But when it comes to writing them and mailing them, I just don't like doing it. Just being frank here. These little purple and pink flowers are so pretty. And to finish them off, I just am going to add this little green piece on the bottom just to give the illusion that it is a bud that has a bottom part to it. So I'm going to slide it down just so. Thank goodness that Barely Art liquid glue dries clear, because my projects would not look half as good without a clear glue, because I'm a little bit of a crazy gluer. And it's kind of ironic because in kindergarten, I'm a kindergarten teacher, and in kindergarten I always tell the kids dots not lots of glue. And then, you know, I come home and I'm making cards and I use lots of glue, not dots of glue. And it's a little bit of a moment there for me. Anyway, now that I have my 2 pieces finished, it looks like I have some leftover flowers here that I could maybe add around the card or use on a different project. I guess we will see. So now that those are finished, I'm going to just position them and kind of lock it in. I think if I glue them right about there, that should work. Okay, I'm going to glue one at a time and use the top one to help me line up this bottom one. The nice thing about using liquid glue for a project like this is I do have a second or 2 to kind of slide this piece either to the right or left if I need to. And oh dear, I see that that piece needs to come out. A little piece in there. Anyway, I'm happy with that application. Hooray. And then I will do the top piece. like I said before, I think that this die set really does pack a punch with just, it looks very, very intricate, and it doesn't take as much work to make a card like this compared to others that I have done in the past. And it really looks quite fancy, and it looks like he took a ton of time doing it. But, you know, I'd say total time for this one was probably about 40 minutes. If I don't count the mistake from doing the wrong die cut piece, I would say, I don't know, maybe 35. Took me a minute to realize what I had done wrong. Anyway, the center of this die has some options for sentiments. I used the Happy Easter one because I thought I should make another Easter card since that is going to be coming up, and I figured I would need some Easter cards on hand. So to add some dimension to that Easter piece here, I'm using some extra foam squares that I had from Spellbinders here. And if you can look carefully, you can see the purple behind it. I had kind of a tricky time with my die cutting. I used my little Sidekick, which I usually love. I think I just need to replace the pad on it, but I did have a tricky time cutting that out with my little Sidekick. I should have just used my Platinum, but I didn't feel like using it for that project, for this little piece, you know. The Sidekick is usually perfect for small pieces, but I guess it just wasn't happening. Okay, I love the way that that looks. That middle piece really finishes off the flower area. It almost looks like one piece for the flowers, so that's awesome. Now I think I'm just going to experiment and just look what it would look like if I scattered flowers around the edge. I am kind of leaning toward not having that on my card, but maybe I'll change my mind once I see it. I wish I could ask someone's opinion, but by the time you see this, it's going to be later. I don't know. I think I'm going to skip the scattering because I think that that is just really elegantly pretty. Anyway, if you've watched all the way to the very end, thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, please subscribe. I hope to be receiving all of the large die of the month from Spellbinders for 2023 here. So let me know if you are going to be a large die subscriber in the comments. And if you are and you're planning on getting this one, I'd like to know what colors are you going to use. I stuck to pinks and greens and purples, but I'd love to know, what are you making with this one? What is your color scheme? Anyway, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!